Gentlemen.
Hello and welcome to our second match for Rival Esports versus Incite here in the Cybergamer 5v5 tournament. Before we progress, I just realized that the scoreboard is around the wrong way, so I will fix that if you want to introduce Incite on our blue side.
I can indeed. So, in the mid lane, we do have Timberwolf on that Ra. We do have Subfloor on Apollo as the AD carry. We do have HS247 as the sub again on that Hercules. Now in the solo lane instead of the jungle. Biggie on the Kumbhakana support and row as that circuit. Really surprising that got through the pick and ban stage though. But it'll be interesting to see how well he does with that.
As for Rival Esports, our red team, that's going to be top-notch as our Odin, Maxon as the Alcon for the second time in a row now. Freemason, once again, as the Athena. Ranabarana on that Nox. And Just Rogue on the Anhur. I am the Machine. Joining me, of course, is the wonderful Nightfall. And one thing I want to talk about is this Kumbhakana. That's really a rare Guardian to see, generally regarded as being pretty much the lowest tier of support. And the reason why they picked him, looking at the picks and bans, there was a whole bunch of the Guardian bans. There was Sylvanas and Geb, they were both banned away by Incite, and then Rival banned Ymir, and then they picked Athena, so there wasn't really that many picks left. And there still was the Barkus, which I think may have been a better choice, but I did actually ask Incite why they went for the Kumba, and they said it was to synergize with the Ra snipes. Because the Kumba's ult knocks him in the air, does a lot of flat damage, and it's very predictable when and where they're going to land. So you can really time that well with the Searing Pain or with a lot of those projectile abilities and burst someone down as they land. So let's see how the Kumba does contribute to this game overall.
Yeah, and I'm quite interested to see how well HS will do in the solo lane now from that jungle in the first game.
That's one thing to mention. They did swap the roles.
Bro. Yeah.
So in the mid lane, we do see Nox pushing up very hard, out pushing Ara, which is a pretty impressive feat. Oh, in the solo lane, yeah, we do see Maxon getting very low. HS looking for something here. Does land the Earthbreaker. Nice play. Driving Strike knocking Top-Notch back towards the lane. With the Bird Bomb doing a lot of damage, and Maxon secures that one. You do have to be very careful of that early game Odin. He does so much burst damage.
Yeah, especially with those minions. Look how many Archer minions there are there. That was quite a lot of damage taken from that early game minions. As well as that Odin and Maxon able to pick up that kill there with the dragons.
Yeah, for sure. So that's
good first blood there.
And that did go over to Ao Kwong. Definitely not a jungler that you want to see snowballing. It's crazy. If he gets a big lead, he can just tower dive pretty much better than any other assassin in the game, because if he lands the execute, he can just jump away to safety. He's going for the speed steal, and they will take that one. So Rival, they have that one secured. Here's Temple for the rotation in. A little bit too late. And that's another big advantage on the side of Rival, denying the speed to Circuit that desperately needs that speed buff.
And the early game poke coming out of Ranabarana on that Nox is extremely high. Nox being one of those very potent early game and late game gods.
Yeah, it's
especially
very
with
strong
that
overall.
3-second cooldown Siphon Darkness.
Yeah, you can basically just poke out the Archer minions in two volleys of it. And then you can use the 2 to poke through the melee minions. You can also position it so the Siphon Darkness kind of hits like the melee minions as well. It's very mana intensive.
Yeah, it's much larger than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ranabarana did recall and will return with a very early beads too. But against a Circuit, I think that's going to be quite valuable.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I was looking maybe for Ao Kwang, then I realized Kwang is actually on the team. So maybe also for that Kumbhakana with the Mesmerize and the the ultimate for that knock up. How long is that again?
2.2.
Nearly 3 seconds. 2.2 seconds.
Yep.
Okay.
You can't beads out of it. It's a knock up, but you can preemptive beads it, preventing it from connecting. Especially as you can see him sort of like charging it in, like up to you. So you do have a bit of window to go for it. Now one thing we haven't actually mentioned as well is there is the heavy hammer as our start on the Hercules. And I think it's actually a very good itemization against the Odin, because Odin, he's basically a one-trick pony with his bird bomb. He leaps in, he clears the minions. After that, he doesn't really have that much to offer, whereas Hercules can stick on him with a heavy hammer, really try and hit him down, and also have a lot of control with his driving strike and his Earthbreaker, especially as he has the sustain with the mitigate wounds, where Odin doesn't have any sustain at all. So I think it's a pretty good lane matchup for Hercules, with that heavy hammer especially, really able to put the pressure on and punish Odin for his leaps in.
He's also picked up Blink there. Very early Blink.
Yeah, I think looking for kill pressure with the Alcong, and level 5 definitely can do that. Blink in, get that Ring of Spears. Hercules, he can't escape, and the Ring of Spears with a healing reduction will prevent the mitigate wounds from working. So I think they're really looking for a kill with that. And you always want to have Blink on Odin. It's so strong for initiating those fights throughout the mid to late game. Let's see if they can make use of it. But right now, top notch is pretty low, and that's the Ring of Spears right now. Nice Earthbreaker. Circuit using the ultimate, and this is looking like a dead top notch to me. He can't leap out of it, as it was already used. Ring of Spears trapping him in. He dies. Incite picked that one up.
And this is the start of the snowball, I feel, for Circuit. That second blood, but it did go over to Circuit, and not really one of the gods you want to have kills on. Such high mobility guard with such high damage.
Yeah.
Being able to get in, get out, and blow people up. And if you're lucky and you kill someone with the ticking damage, then that's so much more damage to the enemy team with that ultimate exploding and hitting the rest of the enemy team. So very good early start for both junglers.
Yeah, pretty strong indeed. Is warded out for now. Rival, they know what's up. They can collapse upon as a result, so very important ward coverage, but look at the damage. Maxon getting absolutely destroyed here, but Just Rogue, he's going to have a lot of damage with the Desert Fury. The heal won't be enough, and the Nox ult was used onto Ra, so as he tried to put the pull down, he actually took damage from that. Because Nox's ultimate, whenever you cast an ability, you take damage.
I think he would have died anyway because the stun would have stopped him, and Just Rogue could have landed a couple more basics then, and picked up the kill.
Didn't have a lot of
options.
options.
Or even another side would have, yeah.
But I think that's why.
Unfortunate.
Well, yeah, I think that's why that ward was really great by Rival, because they saw the positioning and they just collapsed in on it.
Yeah. So it's actually, look at the warding from Incite around Gold Fury right now. They have 3 wards to 1 offensive ward on the side of Rival. So they do have full vision control of that. And they might be looking to pick it up soon. Maybe in the next couple minutes or so.
Now,
Biggie looking.
This is strange. We haven't mentioned this either. I didn't even notice it until now. Look at the actives on the side of Hercules on HS. He has his beads and not a Hand of the God.
Huh. That's actually a good point.
So I think the reason why he went for the beads is because it's an excellent counter to the Alquang execute. You can actually beads it and prevent him from getting the execute, and I think he was perhaps worried about that, the Alquang and the Odin gank. It will limit his pushing, but so far he hasn't really had much of an issue with that. And if you can manage to get through the early game without having to run a hog, then you can have another option for active, say a Cell of Absorption or a Teleport towards. Just Rogue, he's dead. Too much damage from the Circuit and from Apollo. The thing that couldn't quite land in time. Ring of Spears in the mid lane. Oh, Searing Pain, it will hit top notch.
So going back to that Hercules with no hog, I do feel like he doesn't need it, just because the wave clear of Hercules is so good, because you can
Whoa, but is his
Knock up
1v4
all
very
the
good? I don't think it is. Yeah, he's dead.
No. Is that an execute? That is the execute coming out. He did use his beads a little too early there. And ooh, down goes Top Notch as well. 3 for 3 now in kills. But as I was saying, Hercules wave clear is so good, being able to driving strike all the minions after knocking them all together. So, not really needing the hand, but yeah. Oh, Gold Fury now started for Incite.
Can they take this one? Rival are contesting it. They do reset it, so that's a nice play by Rival. Don't think they had. Oh, they had a ward there, so they saw it. And given the health bars on Incite, they weren't really confident enough to stick that one out. So we do have the shell coming on HS. I think that's quite nice. It does give a lot of extra protections to the team. Makes a big difference in those team fights.
Definitely, yeah. Runner didn't actually back after taking red buff. Oh, it does look like now he's going to back. Just pushing that extra wave, being able to farm up a little more. Bro is extremely low. No rhyme intended. But the three enemies looking around. Oh, HS caught here.
Yeah, here we go.
Ring of Spears does go down.
Ring of Spears prevents both the mitigate wounds and the Ra heal.
That searing pain though.
Yeah, that was a blind one, so that was quite nice.
Through the wall.
But not enough.
It was, wasn't it? No wards around there. Maxon picking up a speed buff. Actually extremely low. It looks really close, but no, able to pick it up easily. Being healed from that Bumber's passive.
Still Runner hasn't backed, so must be saving for something. Has a 1100 gold in hand. They probably dive this one. Biggie goes in for it, he gets silenced, he can't use ability just yet. He misses his ultimate, and he gets taunted, preventing his route. So he's going to die underneath the tower. Meanwhile, in the solo lane, we saw a death. Top Notch gets taken out.
That's the power of Circuit again, being able to take down one of the tankiest members on the enemy team.
And that will open up
I say one of because he was so
Gold Fury for Rival. Take that one uncontested with a kill, and with the jungle and the solo, it's quite hard to
will they be able to take this? They will. So is that a good trade, a tower for Gold Fury?
Not a tier 1,
kill
no.
for each side? No.
Tier 1 only gives you 500 gold, Gold Fury is 1500, so it's definitely beneficial for the Gold Fury.
True.
So one thing I want to mention about the Kumba, I think the reason why he's generally not played is he's quite hard to land his abilities, and even then, they're only really single target. He can be quite inconsistent. As we saw then, he missed his ult, and the long cast time on his route makes it quite hard to use. It's easy to dodge like that, he leaps out of it. There's a Fury comes through from Just Rogue, he knocks him off with his ultimate, the uppercut, but no follow-up as the collapse comes through from Rival. Turning this one around, Nox and the Athena. Yeah.
I wonder what the gold worth of territory is. So say you take a tower, is like obviously it's not worth. The tower gives you gold, but the pressure you can apply and you stop the enemy from being able to push up safely. I wonder what that is worth.
Well, it'll vary each game.
Just thinking out loud here. But yeah. And also like the farm, like how well the enemy in the losing lane can farm without pushing up too far and being in danger of being ganked. Mason going for a dash, no, not being able to find just Rogue.
Bit of a grouping around the mid lane. No one's really getting caught just yet. Meanwhile, it's going to be just Rogue and Subfloor once again in this duo lane by themselves. Bit of an advantage on Subfloor. He does have his pen boots and the light blade, having the extra kill.
Maxon coming in. He was pinged out though, so they do know he's there.
Yeah, there's a sentry ward there as well. So Temper Wolf's caught. He may die here. A lot of damage from Maxim. Doesn't quite land the Searing Pain. The Mez a little bit too late from Biggie. He used his uppercut, but it was beadsed out by Maxon. preemptive bead's going to prevent that one from connecting. Nice timing. So yeah.
Is that a ward on? That is a ward on top of a ward. No, not anymore, as Roe does take that down. I'm quite interested in this hunter versus hunter role, because both team just Rogue and Subfloor are able to 1v1 each other. It depends on who has the lead, because they're both extremely good at ADCs, but I wonder what it comes down to in the end.
Generally, Arnhur's going to be stronger because he has Desert Fury, whereas the Apollo ult can't really 1v1. Whereas
True.
a lot of it comes down to Arnhur waiting to land his Impale, whether it be into a wall or into his own Shifting Sands, and then when the Impale lands, and you'll see a massive follow-up with the Desert Fury with those auto attacks doing extra damage if the Shifting Sands is there. Whereas if the Impale doesn't actually land a stun, then Apollo can just dash away. So Apollo, I would say, has the advantage.
Yeah.
Rogue is going to get bursted down. Taunt. Oh, no taunt because of the Mez. Nice timing from Subfloor.
The Apollo passive, I feel, is quite useful. Say he's got a little bit of crit, and he does have the potential to crit in that boxing match against the Arnhur.
Yeah.
But as you said, I reckon it all comes down to skill and timings.
Yeah.
Of skills and abilities.
That really is the weakness of Arnhur, the lack of steroid, but his passive is great, giving him the extra penetration. Definitely makes an impact as well. Looks like there's tier 1 make taken out here. And we do see a bit of a split push from our Hercules, HS, but he recalls. Ring of Spears down onto Timberwolf. He won't be able to heal from his pool, but he's going to get taunted in, and Rana picks him up. That Nox is doing so much damage.
That's a kill and a tower. Full rival there. Being able to pick up that Ra quite easily, as he's got no mobility, no jump mobility inside that Ring of Spears. With that Nox, just being able to press 3 every 3 seconds, that's so much damage.
Yeah. Going for the gold here is Rival Esports. Incite, can they contest it? It's getting pretty low. Top Notch doing a bit of burst there. Subfloor's getting focused. HS looking strong. Rival pick it up. Desert Fury chunking down Subfloor. Weakening Curse comes through, but did it actually land onto Hercules? I don't think it did.
It did, yeah. No, he was extremely slowed there.
Oh, okay. Looked like he was still healing, though.
Yeah.
Who actually has the Weakening Curse?
Max rank?
I'm trying to work out who has it.
It was on Athena.
Oh, you know, yeah, okay, here we go.
Creepier
Creepier Curse. That's why it didn't do any healing
tier
reduction.
2.
Because it hasn't been leveled up just yet.
I didn't realize that was what tier 2 Creeping Curse was.
Creepier Curse.
Creeping Curse. Creepier Curse. Really creative, Iris.
The other option would be going for an Enfeebling Curse, with the attack speed slow, would definitely help against Maxon. The Arkwang, lowering his attack speed makes a pretty massive impact, preventing the damage from his Dragon Calls and his Telkeen's Ring, as well as the Arnhur, but the healing reduction from Weakening Curse will definitely help out against... Wait, am I looking at the wrong side?
Road?
I'm looking at the wrong side, aren't I?
Road try?
Sorry, my bad. It's the curse is on Rival, not on Incite. Never mind that. Otherwise, Ring of Spears comes down once again. Doesn't look like it'll really achieve that much. Temple pops his Aegis and followed up by the taunt. Nox ult. Searing Pain doesn't really do that much, and he's dead.
Sorry, what was that? I just missed a little there.
Okay, so the creepier curse is on the side of Rival, which will definitely go into a weakening curse because it'll prevent both Timberwolf and HS, the Hercules and the Ra. So that's gonna be very valuable having that one.
Definitely.
Taunt.
Negating that extra health in the team fights. And Maxon going for Subfloor, but unable to. The mobility of Apollo just coming in. That tier 1 does go down. for Rival.
The tier 2 will fall as well. Definitely better choice. Defender of Olympia's coming through from top notch. He won't be able to get within range for it. Taunt lands onto both of them. Rao is very squishy. Nox has far too much damage. The shell was there from HS, but it has timed out. It's only a matter of time until the Athena Taunt lands, but Driving Strike can be a nice escape. He's out of mana, so that was his last Driving Strike, but it will be enough.
And Timberwolf there for the heal as well, but Rival just backing off there, knowing not to chase. So mid camp's being taken. Blue buff being taken. All buffs being taken pretty much.
Yeah. I think this beads on the side of the Hercules, it will give him room to build a bit more aggressively. He's got his Mystic Mail, as well as that Heavy Hammer and his Pen Boost. He doesn't really have much tankiness going for him, apart from his Mitigate Wounds, which is obviously quite a fair bit. And then with the beads, he's going to be having a lot more safety than normal. So I still think it's going to be very hard to kill. So we do see Maxon getting very low. Searing Pain was timed with the epic uppercut from our Capricorn.
And Rogan jump onto Barana, but the beads just come out, and the true damage is too much there.
Oh, not too bad here from Rival. Execute does land, but Incite are getting more kills in here. Top notch, nowhere to run. Gets caught by the Mez. He's just standing there, giving his life. And there could be a possible Fire Giant.
Maxon did have to jump out there after getting that execute instead of going back in. But as we saw, Subfloor was able to come in a lot faster than just Rogue with that Apollo ultimate. Being able to come into the team fight and just Rogue just coming in after. We did see just now the Desert Fury and he's jumping in.
Yeah, he leaps in.
Trying to delay them.
I think he was buying time for Maxim. Didn't quite work out though. Even then, Maxim didn't have a hold 3. Gets knocked into the air. Searing Pain a little bit too early, but won't. Oh no, Maxim, he jumps out. If the Searing Pain was a little bit better timed, it would have definitely secured the kill. I think it was a nice play by Just Rag to use the Desert Fury over the wall, where he was completely safe and able to poke through. But leaping in, yeah, that was maybe a little bit greedy.
A little bit ballsy coming out of Just Rogue. So Fire Giant now for Incite. Not on Row though. The strongest member though. For reasons being he's got 4 kills and he is Circuit. So that is a good thing for Rival, but they still have to deal with 4 people with Fire Giant. And Top Notch just hovering around this Gold Fury right now. But he is forced back.
So Incite starting this one. Rival the collapsing in upon it. Incite, they may have to back away, but they do have the Fire Giant buff. So they definitely have an advantage in this fight. Top Notch, he blinks in over the wall. He's looking for his Ring of Spears. He holds on to it. He doesn't want to whiff it. It's a very important ability for these team fights. And there's Rao going over the wall. Ring of Spears zoning off. Rao's a little bit deep on his zone, but Biggie, he's taking up a lot of damage here. Desert Fury comes through. Rao drops. Top Notch, he's caught. Does get bursted down by Temperwolf. Rana being focused down by Subfloor. Nowhere to run. Rana drops. Definitely going to be a Gold Fury there for Incite. Only losing Rao.
2 for 1. Yeah. That is quite a significant member though. Quite a lot of damage is on that Circuit, but he was able to jump into the back and deal quite a lot of damage to Rana, taking him down. I think it was about 30% health, and then after that, Subfloor did go in to try and take him down. So now they're pressuring this left lane, looking for this tier 1 tower. Maxon coming around the back? No. Looking for something, not able to find it. And they do take down this tier 1 tower, and they do just keep pushing up. Biggie?
Having a hard time, missing both of his abilities. Going for the tier 2 now, can they take this one? They do have the Ra heal, so they can siege very well, especially with the regen from the Fire Giant. Backing away for now. Rana just respawning. Rana and Maxon are the 2 most fed members, so team fighting without either of them probably won't go very well for Rival, but they have held their tier 2, so not really securing that much off of the Fire Giant, apart from that Gold Fury. Going for the blue buff, Rao leaps in with the ambush, it will force the reset.
Oh, and just do the disengage.
It's the uppercut.
Going for it though.
Nice searing pain timing. Just Rogue, he pops his beads. He's very low. He's going to be juking behind the minion. Subfloor Dogs, he wants the kill. Mason trying to body block. Even Runner as well as there. Gets the mez, but the Archer minion still blocking it off. Taunt lands, and there drops Subfloor. Meanwhile, Tower's doing a fair bit of damage onto Biggie. Rao gets executed by the Dragon. And this is not looking too good for Incite. Timberwolf is still there. Excavation not quite taking down Top Notch. Biggie's in his passive and he will die. Maxon's low on mana. He jukes out the Earthbreaker. HS gets him though.
HS with that Fire Giant and the Mystical Male being able to take him down. Top Notch looking for it though.
That was a teleport
HS
towards.
Not backing off just yet. It was?
Shoot a teleport.
Did he teleport from base?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, okay. Looking for something, not able to find it though. As Hercules being that massive tank, along with that the Ra heals. Although he does have that ult, but I feel like in a 2v2 situation, Hercules Ra would beat an Odin. Nox was the one there, wasn't she? Especially with Fire Giant being in play.
It has just now timed off. Game has paused, but we are of course watching a replay. We have the fast forward powers.
The beauties of post-match.
It's great.
Casting.
It's really good. So, how do you feel about the shooter teleport on Top Notch?
It's pretty good. It gives him quite a lot of map presence. He can come around the back. He can blink in onto the carries and keep them, especially both carries, Ra and Subfloor, in those Ring of Spears, as they both don't have any jumps to be able to get out of the Ring of Spears. So I think it's good, but I also think that it could be something better.
Yeah, I think a Shell of Absorption would have been really great. Especially because Odin isn't very tanky. He can die very easily. He doesn't have particularly great tanky stats, doesn't really have any self-peel, and this is sort of the stage in the game where Odin does kind of fall off and only really remains to be that Ring of Spears volley cannon fodder.
I feel though that the AoE damage coming out of Incite isn't too much, so by the time that the shield is done, not a lot of damage has been mitigated, and we do see a little fight, no, just a little bit of aggression coming out, and the ultimate down now on Timberwolf, but that is on an extremely low cooldown. 30 seconds already.
Oh, here we go. There was the knock up there, but Rao is just too squishy at this stage. Does get bursted down, and Rana having so much damage here. There drops Biggie as well. That's 2 deaths. Subfloor as well gets the 1v1 box during the rotation, so this is looking great for a rival. There's HS. That's 4 men down. Only Timberwolf stands, and they are right where they want to be at the Fire Giant. They can take this one for free. Timberwolf, he has his ult coming up now, so he still might be able to find a nice snipe, but Top Notch is looking for the zone. That's a really nice play to make. And they take the Fire Giant.
It was quite unfortunate positioning from Incite. They did split on each side of the Fire Giant, so kind of unfortunate that actually, did Subfloor get picked off early there?
It was during the fight, because Subfloor got boxed by just Rogue. Wasn't actually in the fight.
Okay. Ah, true.
They died near the Gold Fury.
Ah, completely other side of the map.
Yeah, I wasn't watching that, but he did die during
Not
it.
watching.
Again, not exactly a huge surprise. Will be the better boxer, for sure, on the Unher. That being said, there was a Queen Size in exchange.
He did have a damage buff.
Yeah.
Unless you just picked it up.
So there's a Weakling Curse coming through. Free Mason, he's dead. Rao picks him up. So that's the first real victory there for a while from Incite. Can they secure anything more from this? There drops Top Notch. Biggie with the ultimate does a fair bit of base damage. Odin, not very tanky at this stage. Has the Rune Forge, but of course, the Kumba will be doing magic damage.
And everyone just walked past Nox, who was recalling. Everyone on the side of Incite. She was in recalling right behind the blue buff, but I think they could have stopped.
Yeah.
Stopped the Nox.
So that's 2 men down with those Fire Giant buffs, but they did get the tier 2, which is very valuable. Giving 1,500 gold. And now Incite are going for the middle tier 2.
Yeah, Rival are sort of ahead. after being behind from that fire giant, they were able to win another team
that's a
fight.
3-man Nox ult. Maxon looking for some follow-up. Athena ult coming down. Biggie's looking fine. Gets the mez, so prevents the range there. Taunt coming through. Weakening curse from our Athena. HS nowhere to run. And that's the execute. Meanwhile, we do see Tempo Wolf and Top Notch. The Dragon's Call landed for some extra damage. Top Notch secures him. Every time Tempo Wolf throws down the Ra pool, even though it won't heal him underneath the Ring of Spears. Now, Rival Esports, they're going for this Phoenix. They have the Fire Giant still, so they're doing a lot of extra damage. Biggie barely survives that one.
And Phoenix does go down. Ooh, that burst down onto sub from Nox there. That was crazy damage.
Going for the tier 2 now.
Going for this. They could pick up the speed buff on the way out as well. Just a little observation.
If they know it's there. They don't have a ward on it.
True.
So they're going for the Phoenix. HS and Tempo Wolf are still down. They're backing away. I think it's a smart move. They see the speed.
How long is it on that fire giant? Let's see. I can't tell.
It's probably just over halfway.
Yeah.
I think it's like 80% of the fire giant respawn timer. So you can just look at the fire giant and see how much it has left. That's gonna be the Gold Fury as well.
Bro jumping in top. He's able to jump away. Is still out of position though. It does fall down there, and Maxon picking up subfloor there. Ro being taken down very low, able to jump out with that ambush. Yes, got it right. Yeah. So Phoenix down in the middle lane, and 1-for-1 trade at the Gold Fury. Although I would trade a solo laner for an 80 carry any day. Yeah,
Top Notch is just zoning now. That's really what he's doing a lot of these fights. Putting down his Ring of Spears and just being annoying in the back lines of Incite, preventing them from really getting in that position. Rival Esports now, they're in a very commanding spot. 13k XP, 10k gold. This is looking grim for Incite. I don't really think they have much options left. They have to take this next Fire Giant. But even if they do, it still won't be enough for them. Whereas Rival, they can probably end the game off of a single team fight and Fire Giant.
Yeah. Next, if Rival do get the next Fire Giant, I think that is game, unfortunately for Incite. But yeah, definitely have to see what does come out. We could see maybe if Biggie, who has Hog 3? Just Biggie. Okay, so it'll be good to see if Biggie can steal it, because then that would put Incite back into the game, but not, as you said, enough. I don't think, because Rival's defense is very strong.
Yeah,
with that wave clear from Nox, from Anhur, and yeah.
So we actually have 2 shelves of absorption coming out of Incite. That's interesting. We do have Top Notch here zoning away Biggie, preventing him from joining the Fire Giant. Will it be enough in time? Rao moving in, does have the Fist of the Gods for the stun. Incite, they take the Fire Giant, and kills are coming through. Rao drops, very squishy. There is Maxon, Top Notch, everyone's dying. Rival trying to disengage from this one. Incite with a fantastic steal.
Definitely, that was comboed with the Ra and the Hog 3. That was really well played there.
Yeah, I think what happened there was Rao used the Fist of the Gods to stun out Mason, so he couldn't hog, and then Biggie hogged it and actually took that one. There's Rana, wow.
Unfortunately, out of position there. Although mid lane being pushed in as well as this left lane, so they do have to do something quick before those super minions do significant damage or take down that Phoenix that could possibly respawn very
Incite looking great here. They have 4 members up. They're going to be sieging down this Phoenix, Freemason, and Just Rogue. Can they hold this one? The Ra pool is there. Just Rogue doing some pretty good damage, and nice body blocking from Freemason. The Phoenix not really getting that low. Archimini's doing some pretty good damage as well. Just Rogue is just doing a lot of it in the back lines. And Freemason's taking some damage, but he is so tanky at this stage. Now they're going to chase them off. Weakening Curse comes through. HS impaled into the wall. He isn't healing to mitigate wounds. And there is Odin joining the fight. Ring of Spears locking them in place. More and more healing reduction. Biggie's in his passive. HS is down. Biggie dies. What a nice defense by Rival.
That was really good. Although Incite were a little bit too overextended for too long. There was only 3 of them there. And
wasn't it 4 of them?
Yeah, Ro wasn't there.
Pretty sure it was everyone except for Ro. Yeah, everyone was there.
Okay.
Oh, Temper Wolf.
Okay.
Recalling.
Oh, Temper, no!
Not a very good spot to recall. It was close.
So risky. That was extremely close, and Maxon extremely low as well. Yeah, Ro wasn't the.
Well, he was dead.
He was able to defend the Titan. Yeah. The Titan did get down to 30% from just 2 waves, I think it was, of super minions in 1 lane. So yeah, we'll see what Rival do after taking down everyone except for Subfloor, who still has his Fire Giant, which is what if you had to have 1 person with Fire Giant, definitely Subfloor.
So we do have Maxon and Rana both 6 itemed up, fully completing the itemization, which is pretty good news for them. And one thing that's interesting is the Celestial Legion Helm. Going to be having a bit of a crit reduction. If you are crit, you cannot be crit again for the next 3 seconds and gain extra magic power during that time. Which is interesting because there isn't actually any crit from Subfloor. He's going for the Unicorn build, but it will definitely give him extra survivability against Rao, who has generally been trying to focus down Rana in these team fights.
Yeah.
But what's interesting as well is that Rana hasn't gone for a second active. He still has the Aegis available, which I think would definitely help him against Rao.
Definitely, yes. The Aegis ticking for being active for 3 seconds of immunity. Actually, what? Subfloor deciding to ult instead of dash?
Yeah, I don't really know why. I think maybe he was worried he was going to get caught. Since again there is a blink on top notch, but they're going for the Phoenix here. How effective will it be? HS is very low. Ring of Spears preventing their healing. Searing Pain hits just Rogue, but he's going to have the healing from his dev, so he's fine. Desert Fury doing some great damage in the back, but so is the Celestial Beam. Ooh, nice leap. Just gets him out of that last auto attack from Subfloor. He wants more kills. He's going back in, but he takes the Siphon Darkness from Nox. Nox very, very poke heavy. Great in the seeding situation, and the Freemason goes in, gets stunned out, and Ro is dead. Top Notch falls.
Wow. That was so close from just Rogue there. 1 more hit and he would have died. And just backing off now. They weren't able to take the Phoenix there, but they were able to trade 1 for 2.
So a really
Definitely
great defense by Incite.
Good there. Yeah, both teams really good at defending and attacking this game. It's so back and forth because both teams have had Fire Giants. Rival had 2. It'll be good to see who gets this next one. Actually,
Rival have 2.
Blue team have had. No, Incite have had 2 Fire Giants.
Yeah, you're right.
And it is respawned
Incite have
just
2,
now, so...
Rival have 1. Interesting. Definitely more Gold Furies though on the side of Rival. So they're both positioned nearby. Gonna be a bit of a poke off. And in this situation, it will definitely go towards Rival because not only do they have the superior poke with the Nox, but they also have really good initiation with the Athena. They can just sort of wait around, and sooner or later, Mason's going to find a taunt onto a high-value target, whereas the Kumbhakana can't really do that as well. So that's why Athena becomes very strong in these situations. Sooner or later, someone's going to get taunted.
And also, the cast time of the Kumbhakana route is extremely long.
You can see it coming. So you can avoid it.
Take damage, but yeah, you could dodge it, you could deal damage, you can just walk away and hit someone else during that time.
Oh, but Rana gets caught by the Earthbreaker, has to pop the beads. That's a nice pickup for Incite. Rana's probably the most valuable target. Ro leaps in, and now Rag has to leap out. But meanwhile, we do see Top Notch in the back.
Knocks out on 2.
Yeah, he gets his Ring of Spears down. He's taking a fair bit of damage. And now Maxon falls to the excavation. Nice work there. Raul looking for some blood, but he gets peeled away and he's dead. Apollo's in the air. He'll miss his ultimate coming down. Top Notch duking them out. He's avoiding a lot of damage here. The shield keeping him alive. Incite not quite focusing the right targets. Just Rogue still alive. Rana still alive. Those are the 2 members. Sub-Floor Drugs. He's almost got Rana, but nice body blocking from Just Rogue. And there drops Sub-Floor. Meanwhile, Top Notch, he's still alive. There goes Biggie. Timberwolf, the lone man standing. Taunt will eventually land when it's available. Is Aegis.
There it goes.
Top Notch playing it risky, but he does get the kill. Searing Pain just quite cancelled, dying midway through the animation. And that's DSI, that's probably game over.
Surrender vote did start. So will they? They should go through.
20 seconds is the quickest respawn for Rao, who probably can't do that much at this stage. That's the right Phoenix, middle Phoenix as well. Minions are here. That's GG. Rival picking up this match, and they will move on to the 3rd game of this best of 3 series.
This was such a good game. The back and forth from both teams, as you see, both teams, Fire Giant for Incite and Rival. Unfortunately, though, for Incite, Rival did come out on top, making really good use of that Kwang and Nox damage.
Yeah, I think the Kumba was a bit of an anchor for the team. He just didn't really contribute much. Again, there wasn't really that many other Guardians on the table, but I think Abarcus would have been a better choice overall, would be able to really offer a lot more in terms of initiation, in terms of peel, or even like a non-conventional support. But anyway, that'll wrap this one up. We'll move on to our 3rd game.
Awesome, see you then.